Welcome to another video on my walking robot Mirft2. Last time I started to disassemble every part in order to reconstruct the frame. And the reconstruction of the frame is necessary to improve the gears. But what I noticed is that right here, and it is not easy to see, so maybe with a lamp a little bit better lighting. Here you may be able to see that the teeth of the gears, of these two gears, are just overlapping, which is the width of this part, kind of. So my idea now is, since this overlap is not needed or not desirable, to put another part in it and see if that solves this problem. If it doesn't, I unfortunately have to find another way to solve it, if it is solvable anyway. So right now I am trying to lift it. This is possible. Of course this is not possible because there are I need to push one of the elements completely out of it, and that's also a little bit of a problem. How do I do that? Right. Using the tool, remove this gear and try to push it out. Which is not as easy as it looked like, but then again nothing really is. Okay, that one is out. So lifting it, and what I need to do now, putting it back and putting one in between. But also pushing this back because it has to go in between, like this. And again the question, why do I do it hard when I can do it simple? Taking this off. Now it's very simple, I hope. Alright, this is one. Now this is two. And then the big part, does this gear fit? No. It only touches. And now remember, I think I did that last time as well, so this is confirmation that this is not a solution. Which raises the question, what is? All parts of fischertechnik have standard sizes. So how to solve something like this? This is a very good question, and as yet I do not have the answer. So time for more thinking. Alright, I've put the whole thing together again, almost. The controller is booting right now. The only way that I can find to have a nice option to reconstruct it is to build it like with the, let me show, the same construction I've put here, with connecting parts and a V shape like here, but I lack enough parts to do that right now. What I want to do with the controller being in this way, all wired up again and hopefully in the right way, is to determine if without the weight of the controller and the battery, the whole of the thing works nicely. The controller has booted up, so in the original firmware, so I'm shifting it a bit up, and I yet have to log in into the controller using the tablet. So now I am selecting the correct interface. And then the very familiar procedure with the tablet. So let's take it and log in. Alright, I'm in. Another question is what I want to test. If I lift the weight, and well, this is what I only have to press enter to, but if I lift this weight, will it run better? Is it indeed the weight? The only way to find out is to run it, and hopefully every wire that there is stays out of the way of the controller, otherwise it becomes a real mess. So having said all that, I'm pressing enter, and that may be going very wrong, and then I just pull the plug. I will not be able to, since I'm using both hands then, I will not be able to press Ctrl C. But anyway, let's just see what happens. Ctrl C, no, enter. Well, something happened, and I will show you what did happen, because this is not what I expected. This is what happened. Connecting, counters, and that's it. So let's do it again. Nothing between the gears, not that I can see. And try again. Nope. Alright, the plug. So it's definitely not the weight. Most definitely not. Alright, I've disconnected myself from the controller. And let's just show whatever happened. Counters. And there is already a difference of, and I have to do it like this. There's already a difference of 200 between the counters. And I close the session and have to relog in after I boot it. But it is very clear now that the weight of the controller and the battery, which I held in my hand, was not the solution to reduce the rattling, which just happened as strongly as before. So what's next? Not quite sure. With everything connected again, including the camera, the sensors right there, and this sensor and the lamp. The question is everything also present in the hardware? So it is still Linux, so let me put it this way. And yes, it looks like things are indeed present. So firmware booted, wireless core, USB camera. Unfortunately, I can't really use it. I can make pictures, as you know, but that's all I can do. I could stream it. But I'm not quite sure yet how to use it. Anyway, that is for this. What I want to do now is once again lift it and see how it behaves again when I lift the whole thing. This is not okay at all. So what is it this time? Where does it come from? Right now, when I look at the numbers, they look alright. They look about the same. But when I look at the interface and the gearing, something is not okay at all. So let's do another test. Just look at the gears. Alright, this one is not quite okay. And then the question is why? There's no wire in between. This looks okay. And what I do remember is that this side gave a problem here previously as well. So let's see if that is still the problem. And that is the gear that is directly attached to the motor. Yes, that is indeed the problem. So I need to take this apart. I have no choice but taking it apart. So this one goes out. And this one has to come off. What is the reason that this is not working correctly? And I really mean this gear. There is no damage visible, not that I can see anyway. But then why is it happening? The same construction is on the other side, which has no problem. Let's run it in this way then. I think that's a very good idea. Alright, so let's see what this gear without this responds to. That seems fine. And by the way, I noticed that the other side stopped before this one stopped. Let's see if that is true. Right now it doesn't do anything anymore. Right now it has a difference of 4000. Why is that? Why is this not responding anymore? Also weird. Connection seems good. So I am more or less riddled. Why is this going on this way? I thought I fixed everything, but apparently not good enough. So this means that I have to take apart this side just as well. And I really don't like it actually. And this kind of troubleshooting is a bit boring, but necessary. Alright. So this is exactly the other side, and let's see how this one behaves. Actually exactly the same. Exactly the same. So is this the culprit? I know it has torsion. I mean, if I do it like this, yeah, it's not very robust. It's not rigid. It's not, in short, it's flexible. But if I look at the way these motors are, I have no other choice. Or I have to use very different motors with risk that I cannot measure the distance. Because with the power motors I use for the other robot, for example Mirft2, that is a very different motor. You can switch it on, you can vary the speed, but you can't measure distance. And that is the beauty of this motor, you can do it. That said, where to go and how? A very good question. But what's the answer? Even better. Also, when I look here at the results, it says for counter 2 almost 9,000 now, and here is 4,500. So there is a distinct difference in counting. Why? I don't know. No clue, actually. Anyway, time to think further. As you can see, I am now logged in using the community firmware, and the reason for that is that I want to know what the behavior is of the robot. In this case, I don't expect anything spectacular, but I want to know anyway. So also in this case I am lifting the robot, and unfortunately GUVC view does start but doesn't give an image, so I have to describe what is going on. And this is what I have to start. And wait. And alright, what do I see? Both motors are running, but since they have no connection, I still have the gearing removed, but they both work. So let me just install the left side of it, left side of that red gearing, and see whatever happens then. Although the problem was with the right side, so I better install the right side, the right hand side I should say. Alright, right hand side of the red gearing installed. So now let's see whatever happens. And Alright, this seems to run more than fine. Right, so then let's install the left hand side. That doesn't go easy. Now it says no, it's not installed. The outer part of the gearing car came away. Now it is installed. So let's run it again and see what the left side does. Now they both work. Exactly synchronous. Exactly synchronous. What does that tell us? Let's see. It is a different firmware. Shouldn't matter that much. It just runs. But if I compare everything, on the other hand, let's take a look back. And this shows. Oh wait, there is a big difference. Here it says. Oh wait, this doesn't. This is not correct at all. Nothing, nothing, and then some counting starts. And it goes on, quite near, like this, 1600 against almost 1600. Still the same. I do interrupt somewhere. Okay, here it goes wrong. Yeah, here's the same, and here it goes wrong. So where does it go wrong? A green connector is came out, so that may be the point. So it's now that remains a weak point. Question is why. Right, last part of this video. The problem is still that the reconstruction of the frame didn't work out, not the way I envisioned. Then, as on camera shown, the gearing for the motor gave some problems, and then it didn't, and then it did again. Not sure why. Now I find this issue. It's with the counters, although somehow I doubt it is from the counters, because the wiring that is coming off is not with the pulse counter. I just realized that it is the power, either negative or positive, but power it is. And it doesn't say, alright, I stop with it. It just goes on, just with very bad numbering. And why can't I find this back? Here it's still the same. Right. Okay, anyway, still not sure which way to go to. The frame definitely needs some reconstruction, but by lack of parts I'm not quite sure how to deal with it. Motors, are they strong enough? Do they have the same torque? I think that is the way to look at it, because with the other power motors that I've used from other models, the higher the torque, the stronger the power, of course, and the better heavy weights can be dealt with. And that is something I really need to look after. What is the torque of these pulse motors? Apart from that, no. Oh right, I haven't made any picture because I disabled it from the software. Not much difference, I think, between my software on the community firmware and the RoboPro firmware. It seems to work fine now, but if I do not support it and I let it run, I think hell breaks loose. And it's four-legged now, or is it? Oh, that's a nice one. That is a very nice one. Didn't expect that. It just went without a problem, but they're synchronized now. They're doing exactly the same. Let's try again. Too bad I can't show you on camera now. It more or less moves. More or less. And yes, let me show you on camera. Right, a very short, very last part. This is, I hope it does it again, show you what just happened. And mind you, these are four legs. Oh right, come on. Alright, and what happens is that on the other side, where is it? This red gear came off. This one. but you saw it move for a moment with 4 legs. So now I really have no idea anymore what to do. 6 or 4 legs. What's going on? This is really strange. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And please donate to keep this blog, website, etc. and the videos coming. This for donations, please see my website, also for my other projects, and this is to be continued.